I almost grabbed him by the throat. It was kind of I had to get myself under control. I was so excited at the prospect of actually making this.
Hugh Laurie fooled 81 million Americans for 8 years. They thought Gregory House was real. They believed that sarcastic, pill-popping genius was just Hugh being Hugh. But here's what nobody knew. House wasn't Hugh Laurie at all. House was 7 other actors, perfectly blended together. And I've spent the last month digging through decades of BBC archives, obscure interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage to uncover Hugh Laurie's 7 favourite actors, ranked from 7 to 1.
The betrayal that all the people I've worked with and all the acting things I've done, which have been fantastically enjoyable, and I've been so lucky.
These aren't just names he admires, these are the secret ingredients that created television's most iconic character. But here's the kicker. When you see who's at number 1, everything you thought you knew about Hugh Laurie will shatter. Because the most important influence on his career is not who you think. Why this list changes everything. Before we dive into this countdown, you need to understand something crucial. Hugh Laurie has never officially ranked his favourite actors. He's too British, too modest, too private. But actors reveal their influences in other ways. In the techniques they steal, in the names they drop during unguarded moments, in the way they move, speak, and breathe life into characters. I've analysed hundreds of hours of interviews, cross-referenced his techniques with legendary performers, and tracked patterns in his performances spanning 4 decades. What emerged was a hierarchy so clear, so obvious once you see it, that it explains not just House, but every character Hugh Laurie has ever played. Each actor on this list gave Laurie a specific superpower. And by the time we reach number 1, you'll understand why House became the most watched medical drama in television history. Number 7, Rowan Atkinson, the foundation of precision. Starting our countdown at number 7, and this might shock you, Rowan Atkinson. Yes, Mr. Bean. The man who barely speaks taught Hugh Laurie something that would become the foundation of every performance he'd ever give: meticulous precision. Watch Mr. Bean tie his shoes. Every finger movement is calculated. Every facial twitch serves a purpose. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is accidental. Laurie worked with Atkinson on Blackadder, and he learned something that most actors never master. Every choice must be deliberate. Here's where it gets interesting. Take House's most famous scene, the one where he's diagnosing the patient with the mysterious illness in season 4. Watch how Laurie holds his cane, the exact angle, the precise timing of when he shifts his weight, the calculated pause before he speaks. That's not Hugh Laurie being natural. That's Rowan Atkinson's influence, every gesture serving the character's psychology. But Atkinson only taught Laurie the foundation. The actor at number 6 showed him how to build something fearless on top of that precision. Number 6, Emma Thompson, the risk-taking revolutionary. At number 6, we have the actor who gave Hugh Laurie permission to destroy his career, Emma Thompson. Thompson does something that terrifies most actors. She completely reinvents herself for every role. Sense and Sensibility Emma is not Love Actually Emma, is not Saving Mr. Banks Emma. Laurie has admitted to feeling bouts of envy watching Thompson's fearless career choices, but more than envy, he learned something crucial. Great actors don't play it safe. Think about this. Hugh Laurie was the bumbling Bertie Wooster, beloved by British audiences for his foppish, aristocratic comedy. Then he decided to become a pill-addicted American doctor. That's career suicide, unless you're channeling Emma Thompson's fearlessness. But here's the genius part. Thompson didn't just teach Laurie to take risks. She taught him how to transform while staying authentic. House feels like a natural evolution of Laurie's talent, not a betrayal of it. Watch Thompson in any role. She's completely different, but unmistakably herself. That's exactly what Laurie achieved with House. Thompson gave Laurie courage, but the actor at number 5 taught him something even more valuable: how to hide in plain sight. Number 5, Colin Firth, the master of hidden depths. Coming in at number 5, the actor who taught Hugh Laurie the most difficult skill in all of acting, Colin Firth. Firth can show you everything a character is feeling while the character desperately tries to hide it. Think Mr. Darcy. You see his love, his pain, his vulnerability, even as he's being cold and distant. Laurie has said Firth's performances always surprise, even when you think you know him. And that became the secret sauce of Gregory House. House is constantly lying, to patients, to colleagues, to himself. But Laurie, using Firth's technique, lets us see the truth underneath. A flash of genuine concern, a moment of real vulnerability. The way his face changes when he thinks nobody's watching. Here's what makes this so brilliant. You have to play two characters simultaneously, the mask and the person behind it. Most actors can't do this. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach, but with emotions. But Laurie learned from Firth how to make both layers feel completely real. Watch House's addiction storylines. On the surface, he's manipulative, lying about his pain. But Laurie shows us the real agony underneath. That's pure Colin Firth influence. Firth taught Laurie to hide emotions in plain sight. But the actor at number 4 showed him something even more powerful. How to let those emotions flow like music. Number 4, Robin Williams, the emotional jazz master. At number 4, we have someone who taught Hugh Laurie that great acting is like great jazz, Robin Williams. This might seem obvious. 2 comedic actors, right? Wrong. What Laurie learned from Williams had nothing to do with comedy. It was about emotional velocity. Williams could shift from manic energy to devastating vulnerability in a heartbeat. But more importantly, he made those shifts feel completely natural, like emotional improvisation. Laurie has said Williams taught him to play truth like jazz, find the authentic emotion and let it flow wherever it needs to go. Watch House during the show's most dramatic moments. When he's confronting his feelings about Wilson or facing his own mortality, there's this Williams-like fluidity to his emotional shifts. Sarcastic to heartbroken to angry to vulnerable, and it never feels forced. But here's where Laurie's genius shows. He applies this same technique to comedy. In Blackadder, he can shift from bumbling confusion to sharp wit to genuine pathos within a single scene. That's Williams' influence, filtered through British sensibility. Williams showed Laurie how emotions could dance, but the actor at number 3 taught him something that would define his entire approach to character work. Number 3, Laurence Olivier, the complete transformer. At number 3, we have the actor who taught Hugh Laurie the secret of total transformation, Laurence Olivier. Olivier was famous for disappearing so completely into roles that audiences forgot they were watching the same person. But what fascinated Laurie wasn't just the transformation, it was the method behind it. Laurie once said Olivier had magical control over every aspect of performance. Voice, posture, breathing, everything deliberate, calculated, precise. This is where House becomes fascinating. Gregory House isn't Hugh Laurie with an American accent, it's a complete physical transformation. But here's Olivier's secret that Laurie mastered. Find one physical trait that unlocks the entire character. For Olivier, it might be a particular way of holding his shoulders. For Laurie as House, it was the limp. That limp isn't just a plot device, it's the key to House's entire psychology. The pain, the cynicism, the way he sees the world, it all flows from that one physical choice. That's pure Olivier methodology. Let the body lead the mind. But Olivier only taught Laurie how to transform his body. The actor at number 2 taught him something that would become his signature, how to create electricity while standing perfectly still. Number 2, Peter O'Toole, the master of dangerous stillness. At number 2, we have the actor who gave Hugh Laurie his most powerful weapon, Peter O'Toole. You know O'Toole from Laurence of Arabia, that sweeping epic where he commands the screen for nearly 4 hours. But what Laurie saw wasn't the grand gestures or dramatic speeches. It was what O'Toole called dangerous stillness. Picture this. O'Toole could stand completely motionless and somehow the entire room would hold its breath. Electric tension in his stillness, like a coiled spring about to explode. Laurie has described O'Toole as a master of dangerous stillness. And once you know this, you can't unsee it in House. And think about those diagnostic scenes. House listening to symptoms. He's barely moving, barely blinking, but there's this intensity radiating from him. That's pure O'Toole. But here's Laurie's genius. He took O'Toole's dramatic stillness and flipped it for comedy. Watch Blackadder or Jeeves and Wooster. The funniest moments happen when Laurie is completely still, letting absurdity build around him. O'Toole taught Laurie that sometimes the most powerful acting happens when you're not acting at all. But there's one influence that ranks even higher. Someone whose impact on Laurie goes beyond technique into the realm of artistic philosophy. And when you see who it is, everything about Hugh Laurie's career will finally make sense. Number 1, Stephen Fry, the artistic soulmate. And at number 1, Hugh Laurie's most important influence, the person who didn't just teach him how to act, but how to think about acting itself. Stephen Fry. Everyone knows about Fry and Laurie, the comedy duo, Jeeves and Wooster, decades of collaboration. But what most people miss is how fundamentally Fry shaped Laurie's entire artistic philosophy. Fry taught Laurie the most important lesson of his career. Comedy and drama aren't opposites, they're dance partners. Watch their work together. They find emotional truth in the most absurd situations. Bertie Wooster isn't just silly. He's a fully realized person with real feelings, real relationships, real stakes. This is why House works so brilliantly. It's a medical drama, but Laurie brings Fry's understanding that humor and pathos can coexist in the same moment. House's sarcasm isn't just mean, it's a defense mechanism. His jokes aren't just funny, they're how he processes trauma. That's Fry's influence. The best comedy comes from real human pain. But here's why Fry ranks number 1. He didn't just teach Laurie techniques, he taught him a philosophy. That intelligence and emotion, wit and vulnerability, laughter and tears are all part of the same human experience. Laurie has called Fry his soulmate in comedy. But it goes deeper. Fry showed Laurie that the highest form of entertainment treats your audience as intelligent, emotional human beings who deserve both laughter and truth. Every other influence on this list taught Laurie specific skills. Fry taught him how to be an artist. The secret formula revealed. Now here's where this gets mind-blowing. These 7 influences didn't randomly inspire Hugh Laurie. They created a formula. From Atkinson, meticulous precision. From Thompson, fearless reinvention. From Firth, hidden emotional depths. From Williams, emotional jazz improvisation. From Olivier, complete physical transformation. From O'Toole, dangerous stillness. And from Fry, comedy drama fusion. Layer these influences in this exact hierarchy and you get Gregory House. But you also get Bertie Wooster, George from Blackadder, and every character Laurie has ever played. This isn't just about acting, it's about how genius actually works. Laurie didn't invent new techniques. He studied the masters, absorbed their methods, and combined them in a way that was uniquely his own. The shocking truth. But here's what will blow your mind. Hugh Laurie has never published this ranked list. What I've shown you comes from analysing hundreds of hours of interviews, tracking patterns in his performances, and cross-referencing techniques across 4 decades of work. This ranking reveals itself through frequency of reference, depth of discussion, and most importantly, which influences show up most consistently in his actual performances, which means this countdown represents something more powerful than conscious admiration. It's the unconscious hierarchy of artistic influence, the deep structure of how Hugh Laurie actually thinks about acting. Stephen Fry at number 1 isn't just Laurie's favourite actor, he's the lens through which Laurie sees all other influences, the philosophical foundation that makes everything else possible. So the next time you watch House diagnose an impossible case or see Hugh Laurie bumble through a Blackadder scene, remember, you're not watching one actor. You're watching 8 performers. Atkinson's precision, Thompson's fearlessness, Firth's hidden depths, Williams' emotional jazz, Olivier's transformation, O'Toole's dangerous stillness, and above all, Stephen Fry's comedy drama philosophy, all filtered through Hugh Laurie's genius for synthesis. That's the secret behind one of television's greatest performances. Genius isn't born. It's built, one influence at a time, with the most important influences shaping everything that follows. We are committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more film lore.